From Relay FM, this is Connected, episode 452, The Rickies for WWDC 2023. This episode is brought to you by Clean My Mac X, Indeed, and Notion. I am one of your competitors. My name is Myke Hurley. I am actually the annual chairman.
No, we're going to get to that. You settle down.
Wait for your turn.
Who's talking? No one's been introduced. I'm talking. Annual chairman is talking. I'm presiding over these Rickies as the annual chairman. I have special powers, and I'm introducing this episode. I'm joined by a Ricky competitor, Federico and Stephen. Hi, Federico.
Spoiler alert, I'm also going to be the winner. So if you want to skip ahead to next week, just, play the spoiler horn, just in case. Just a heads up, I'll be the winner.
No, it's going to be me.
It's gonna be me.
I feel like just statistically, because currently I am the annual chairman, and I think I'm the keynote winner of the Flexies.
Nobody cares about statistics.
Oh my gosh, it's in the document and we will get to it.
Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Who is this person?
On this show, nobody is anyone until it gets introduced, okay? It is also my pleasure to introduce Mr. Stephen Hackett. Hello, Stephen. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Stephen.
I love you, buddy.
The current chairman status. Annual picks is Myke. Annual Flexies is Myke.
There we go.
Keynote picks is Federico. Keynote Flexies is Myke.
Ooh.
Okay.
So he could go for the perfect four. We will get to that, but first we have some follow-up. Many people say their watches are green tinted.
Many people are saying. Many people are saying.
Why are you ruining this episode?
I got 2 emails and 1 feedback thing on the website, so
3
people are saying.
yeah, it's a lot of people. There was a WatchOS update that came out, I think yesterday, WatchOS 9.5.1. Maybe that fixes it. I don't know. If you emailed me to tell me your watch is green, tell me if it's not green, and we'll follow up next week.
No, we won't. I swear, if during the WWDC episode you bring this up, I'm done.
Yeah,
right, that's
if you
it.
bring it up,
I'll walk.
leave.
It's going to be embarrassing since we're recording it at Apple Park.
Yeah. Well, but then you will do it on your own. It will be you on your own.
If you bring up the green screen while at Apple Park in front of Apple people, I will sue you.
Unless
Wow.
it's a feature in iOS 17. If it's a feature in iOS 17, fine. And then you can take some kind of victory lap. It will take a really long time to do a victory lap around Apple Park, but we'll wait for you. You can do it. But we're not going to talk about this next week. So if you want to contact Stephen and tell him, by all means, tell him. But you're not going to hear about it next week.
You're going to love the t-shirt I'm going to wear to our recording then. Hashtag free the green.
Oh my God.
What is this? You're like a conspiracy theorist now. What is happening? It's like starting a cult or something. What is going on?
Free the green.
Wait, did you say free the green?
He did.
Free the green.
Wait, so what does that mean? Does that mean you want the green or don't want the green? That's not
Because the
good.
green is trapped in your display. You got to let it go.
Okay, is that what it is? It's like that's why you see it all the time because the green is like trying to get out
Yeah.
through
It's right
the
there at the
screen.
surface. It can't break loose. Myke, will you tell us about the Snap 3 Pro?
No, I didn't put this in the document.
That doesn't mean you can't read it. It's about you.
I feel like you should read it so then I can respond to it as the document has, right?
Myke is going for this kind of.
I had a Red Bull. I don't know what I had a Red Bull. Yeah, I'm sorry. So this is what you got now.
Okay. So that's what we gotta deal with.
As,
All right.
as the tagline says, Red Bull, it gives you antagonism. I think that's the that's what it says. The well-known catchphrase.
Interesting. Okay, sure. So MagSafe feedback from Chris.
Chris wrote in saying that while listening to Myke distress over the MagSafe pop socket lifestyle problem, it made them think of the Snap 3 Pro. It has pop socket-like functionality, according to Chris, but is thin enough that it works with MagSafe while also allowing for magnetic mounting. He's had it for about 6 months and is really happy with it.
So I have 2 things. One, they only ship to the US and Canada, so I can't buy one. So I can't test it.
Big Snap 3 Pro, buddy.
Ask John. Ask John.
Ship this to Myke.
Wait, can't John just get one and bring it? Do you think he'll get it in time?
Do you want one, Myke? I'll buy you one.
Go for it, yeah.
At the John Apple store, I ordered the transparent Beats earbuds.
Oh, very nice.
He's bringing them to me. You should also order the Snap 3 Pro at the John store.
At the John store? Give me the pink one.
Yeah.
John or Stephen.
Okay, Okay, I'll do it. There is a light pink and a kind of a purpley pink. Which one do you like?
The light pink.
The one next to the gray?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about this, though. You guys know how I am when it comes to wireless charging. Like, Stephen is about green screens. I am about wireless charging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like putting something in between the charger and the thing on the phone is worse.
Well, I mean, to each his own conspiracy. Yeah, I mean, they say it's gonna work. Well, it's just what you shouldn't be scared of electricity going through magnets and plastic. It's fine. It's certified
By who?
by somebody. All you need to, like, when you need to get out of an argument,
Them.
you need to say, well, it's certified. Everybody's gonna believe you.
That's actually a pretty good. I like that. That's like a Federico life hack right there. Just say
Yeah,
it's
like when you're
certified.
talking about furniture or appliances, you just drop it in there. It's like, yeah, it's certified. And everybody goes like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So you put those stickers on the front of like refrigerators.
Yeah,
This is certified.
certified.
Well, maybe I will be able to certify it if Stephen gets it in time and can bring it.
I ordered it.
Thank you. I will not be talking about this on the next episode. I'll talk about it on the next one after that because it will be important things to do next time. Speaking of next time, WWDC is next week.
What?
I'm sorry to break it to you, Stephen. Stephen, it's next Monday. Are you busy? Are you busy?
Yes, actually. I will be coming in on Tuesday.
Actual poor planning, but unfortunately, Stephen had nothing to do with it.
I'm so sorry, Stephen, because they are announcing and discontinuing the headset on Monday.
Be there or be squared.
You're gonna miss it all. You're gonna miss it all.
That's it. It's the only time you can see it.
How are you boys feeling about WWDC?
Very excited.
Yeah, me too.
Very, very, very into it, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the last show I'm gonna record before WWDC, so that's fun. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing people. I'm looking forward to a 7-hour keynote. I'm all in, baby. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I look forward to picking up Federico at the airport. You know,
It's going to be great.
it's all good stuff.
Yeah. I will be in good company as we make our way toward America.
Yep.
As always.
Yep.
So
Looking forward to it. Cannot wait. All right, but we have things to do.
okay.
We do. It is time to play the game. We start each game by a reading of the Bill of Rickies. I start with the preamble, because that comes first. The Rickies is a game connected hosts play before Apple keynotes at the beginning of a new year, trying to predict future events. It is made up of 3 rounds. Each host makes 2 regular picks, followed by a risky pick. There are 2 types of Rickies, annual Rickies and keynote Rickies. The winner of the annual Rickies is named the annual chairman. This position is awarded every January. The keynote Rickies winner is named the keynote chairman. This position is held until the next keynote. That's the one we're playing today. After the Rickies, the hosts then play a game called the Flexies. These 2 games are separate but related. Please stand for the reading of the rules. Correct regular picks are awarded 1 point. The language used for regular picks must be finalized and agreed upon during recording, and no partial points may be awarded. Correct risky picks are worth 2 points, but wrong ones will cause a point to be deducted from that host's total. Picks must have been approved as risky by the 2 other hosts before the start of the game. A pick cannot be named risky if it has been previously rumored by the publications of Record, 9to5Mac, or Mac Rumors. Picks made for the keynote Rickies cannot be reused by the host who made them for the next keynote. The annual Rickies have their own subset of rules. Once a host chooses something as an annual pick, they cannot reuse it in that calendar year. Additionally, picks may not be used in back-to-back annual Rickies by the same host. All hosts are allowed to reuse picks previously made by others. Scoring is completed during recording and cannot be modified once an episode is complete. In the event of a tie, Dice by pCalc must be used in Relay FM mode to pick a winner. Jason Snell has a lifetime ban on flipping any coins in relation to the Rickies. Coin flips by Jason on other podcasts are allowed, but are frowned upon and subject to public shaming. For Keynote Rickies, the scoring window starts when the event begins and closes when the picks are scored. Any information used in scoring must be publicly verifiable at the time of recording. The order of picks is set by previous performance. The winner of the previous associated game goes first. The previous loser goes last. Winners will be recognized during the closing ceremonies. As a reminder, Myke is the current annual chairman and Federico is the current keynote chairman. Past results can be seen at rickies.co and rickies.net. These sites also have pages about managing your own scorekeeping at home. You may be seated. So we do need to address one issue. If Myke wins this, he will reign supreme with all 4 titles. So he needs to win the keynote and the flexies.
I have to win a lot.
But
Yeah,
this is
I
the
have to win
closest
2
we've ever
things,
been.
yeah.
Maybe we need to address what this person would be called, because just chairman doesn't feel like it's grand enough. We had a couple suggestions. Listener Drew wrote in and recommended the unified champion of Connected. This is apparently from professional wrestling. I like unified champion.
Oh, yeah.
Martin wrote in with his supreme Ricky Flex.
If we're going with wrestling, Undisputed is used quite a lot,
Okay.
which I would quite enjoy, to be the undisputed champion.
Okay.
Now, don't we have like a joint name thing? Wasn't that a thing that we did once?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so Federico shall be named. This is part of the Flexies, I'm sorry. But there's we have for the Flexies, there is
Yes.
a name for if we got both keynote and annual. So I think it would have to include that, right? So mine would be, so we will get to this later on, but if I won both the keynote and annual, I would be Archduke Flexington. That would be my full name. So I think it would have to be something like
Archduke champion.
the undisputed champion, Archduke Flexington. I think that's what I would go with. I do also feel like, personally, as the person who's closest to having this happen to them, that person should get to choose the name.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily codify it in the rules, because in a way, if this happens, you could have a bespoke name each time it happens. I think that's part of it. You get to be whoever you want to be.
I think that's your extra prize, right? That if you have managed to hold down the entire thing, that you should get to choose it.
Okay, so that's what we're going to go with. If someone holds all 4, you get to pick your title.
Mm-hmm.
We will codify this in the rules for next time. I'm just going to write it down for now, but we're not changing the document currently. Someone holds all 4 titles. They are allowed to choose their own moniker. That's what I was looking for.
Monica Bing.
That's good.
Yep. That was what we were going for.
This episode of Connected is made possible by Clean My Mac X. Junk files, hung processes, and malicious apps can slow down even the latest, most powerful Macs. Maintaining your Apple machine, whether old or new, is essential for smooth macOS performance. Clean My Mac X is an all-in-one Mac maintenance tool that takes care of old junk, faulty apps, and malware in an efficient, aesthetically pleasing, hassle-free way. You can use the app's menu to monitor your Mac's health, CPU load, and more. And with nearly 30 million downloads and 15 years of expertise, this app is a must-try for any Mac user. Run Clean My Mac X to gear your Mac up for the groundbreaking additions that will be announced at this year's WWDC. As Apple continues to pack the Mac with more innovative features, Clean My Mac X ensures that your hardware will remain healthy and running at peak performance so you can enjoy a seamless macOS experience. One of the things that I love about this app is that all these tools are in one interface. Without Clean My Mac X, you'd be running around like a wild person trying to solve all this on your own. But Clean My Mac X puts it in one beautiful application. You can walk through it really easily. You can understand what it's doing. It's just fantastic. All Connected listeners get 5% off. Check out the link in the show notes or go to macpaw.app/connected. That's macpaw, MACPAW, macpaw.app/connected, or check out the link in the show notes. Our thanks to Clean My Mac X for their support of Connected and all of Relay FM. Okay, the order is Federico, and then Myke, and then me. So you're up, buddy.
Okay, so my first regular pick is about health. And specifically, my pick is the health app gets mood tracking and an iPad version. So 2 features, 1 pick. I'm that generous, you see?
That's a bold first pick.
I'm bringing the passion back for the Rickies. We're going to be in person. You know, you either do it with passion or you don't.
Can we get some clarifications?
Sure.
To help with scoring? Mood tracking.
Yeah.
One of the rumors is journaling. Is that mood tracking, or does the journaling have to have a mood tracking feature within it?
No, I think the health app itself will have some kind of mood check thing where you say I'm feeling stressed, or I'm happy, I'm relaxed, or something like that.
Huh.
And an iPad version, it is what it is. An iPad version, health on the iPad. Graded here, but I'm expecting the iPad version to take advantage of the bigger screen with like some kind of grid layout. I would expect graphs and charts to look really nice on the iPad's display. But yeah, so the text of my pick is the health app gets mood tracking and an iPad version, which means I would expect that you will be able to open the health app, say I'm feeling such and such, and you will be able to do it on the iPad as well. Will be interesting to see how they're going to sync data with end-to-end encryption across devices, but I mean, they already kind of do.
I mean, there must be a way, right? Because my Apple Watch and my iPhone manage it.
I'm excited for this, and especially I think the mood tracking feature, especially if it gets combined with some shortcuts integrations and stuff like that, would be super nice to have like a one-tap shortcut to say how you feel. I think there's an entire market of apps that already do this and that could save their data into the sort of health database instead of each having their own silo.
Yeah, I used one for a while. I don't remember what it was called now, but I used it was like a year or something. I was using a mood tracking app, and I found it really helpful. Like, it just as like a simple thing can be really helpful. And there can be an interesting combo with journaling in here, though, right? Like, I do imagine that if Apple was to write a journaling app, that it could also talk to the mood tracking function in health.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect that would be a pretty clear integration between the two. But like so many things, I think basically everything in health, whether Apple makes it or not, they have it accessible to write to and read from. Thinking of like the pedometer or whatever, So this would be tied into that. I think this would be a really nice feature. And I think on the iPad, it might be good because you'd be able to actually see more. I find the health app really could do with a little bit more space than I have on the iPhone sometimes. It's quite a data-rich experience. So I think getting it on a bigger screen would be better.
Agreed, yeah.
All right, should we move on to my pick?
Okay,
we're going to bring the passion down a notch with the headset is unveiled.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give you part of the reason I've picked this. I have 2 reasons for picking this. 1, I want the points. 2, I'm kind of thinking about like the structure of the episode next week, that if, as we tend to do, is like mostly score the Rickies as like the conversation, that we might need to actually have a reason to talk about the headset. So like this helps us do that. But also I want the points. Passion's not needed. Passion is just an extra sprinkling. It's not in the rules. Within the rules, the headset will be unveiled. And to be fair, I don't think this is the first time that this pick has been given, so who could tell what's going to happen?
Not graded, but I'm just going to ask you, where do you stand on the name?
I think they will go with Apple Reality.
Yeah, okay.
But that's it.
Not Reality Pro.
I don't know. I go backwards and forwards on it because to me, it's strange to give something the Pro name when there's nothing else, right? Like it's the only one. However, when I like had this argument with myself, they maybe want to put the word Pro on it to be like, yeah, it's expensive, so like there will be a cheaper one later on. So I'm not sure, but I do think reality. I think we were talking about it on this show either last week or a couple of weeks ago about just like this is just the way that Apple names things. Like they could just call it Apple headset and it would work, but I think reality is probably where they're going to go. And I don't know if this is going to come up later on, but I'll just mention it now. I actually am leaning towards Reality OS as the OS name.
Reality. I like Reality OS more than XR OS personally.
Yeah, me and Jason were talking about this on the draft, and he kind of solidified it to me because he was just like, XR is a stupid term that does not make sense to people unless they know what it means. And so calling it that doesn't make sense, especially, again, when you look at the names of the operating systems. They're all very clear, like what they support. Yeah. They are named after the product that they are focused on. So I think unless they're going to call this Apple XR, which I really don't think they will, I think I'm leaning towards reality for both of them. The Pro, I'm not sure about yet.
I do want to just read out your annual risky pick, just for some more context. It's already in red in our document. You said, Apple shows off their headset in March. They announced developer tools at WWDC and show it off again at an event in September. It ships to customers in October.
I still think that at that time I was right.
Wow.
But then things changed. But I still believe that in January, that was the plan. But now here we are, and we're staring down the barrel of a 3-hour-long keynote.
For sure. And I don't think your pick is a repeat of your risky, so I think you're clear of that rule.
Yeah, I mean, this is why, like, they're going to have to, on Monday, do the job of showing the hardware for the first time, showing the system apps and its uses, showing games and everything, before they even get to talk about the developer story, if at all, during the keynote. Like, they might not even really talk about the developer story during the keynote, other than, like, and you'll be able to make apps for it, and they just move on, because they can do all that later on, right?
And we have a very sweet solution for you.
What would the sweet solution be, right? So if the original sweet solution was web apps...
Just take your iPad app and bring it to the
Right, but they are going to do that, though. Like, they are doing
well,
that.
They literally are. I joked we recorded app stories today, and I joked that, well, no, not joke, but I said, like, hey, maybe they're going to do, like, Reality Catalyst, and that's what they're going to call the system for taking your iPad app, and it works on the headset. I mean, they have Mac Catalyst. They might just do Reality Catalyst. And that's how you take your iPad app and it works on the headset.
Well, I doubt it will be. I mean, who knows if it would be called that? But that's realistically probably what the system will be, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not just going to run the iPad app as such. There's probably some changes you'd want to make, like how similarly you'd want to ideally make changes to your app for Catalyst. But in essence, it will do it. It will be that, right? But remind me, did Catalyst apps ran on Intel Macs, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. See, I imagine all this stuff is more simple now, right? Because it's in essence like, you know how like we could get iPhone apps on our Macs, like iPad apps on our Macs, just because it was all Apple Silicon. This would be Apple Silicon too. So like, it's even simpler. They to have these things run.
Mine is of a similar passion level. Apple will announce a 15-inch MacBook Air.
I think yours is a smidge more passionate than mine. I feel like mine is a lock. I'm not sure if the MacBook Air is like a lock. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely out there. This is probably the time they're going to do it. But
yeah,
this keynote could go by and they don't do it, and we wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe it, right? Which is what would happen if there was no headset. Like, it's just a MacBook Air.
If
no
we
headset.
had done this 2 weeks early or something, I don't think I would have picked it, because I think there was room where this could have like slipped in to a PR thing in May. But here, just a few days ahead of the keynote, I feel much better about it not being before WWDC, right? They're not going to announce this on Thursday or Friday.
Oh, wait, the press release, 15. No, I'm kidding.
That would be incredible.
Can you imagine? How great would that be, though? Would that be too late for you at that point? I don't know, but that's never happened before.
I think so. I think I'd lose the point. Federico says the health app gets mood tracking and an iPad version. Myke says the headset is unveiled. And I picked Apple will announce a 15-inch MacBook Air. Feeling pretty good. I think we all have a good shot at all these.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if the headset's not unveiled? It's like,
Can you imagine what are we gonna do there? Like, are we just gonna
Yeah.
talk about widgets? And
Yes.
WatchOS? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's what we've done at many others. We've
Yeah, I
gone through
guess.
many others with just
what
talking
was
about
even
widgets.
life like before the headset? I cannot remember.
Uh-huh.
I cannot remember. Anyway, is it time for round 2? I feel like it's time for round 2.
It's time for round 2.
My pick is Apple introduces a brand new journaling app. This is the base text of the pick and not graded. I think this app will have obviously some location-based features to maybe say, hey, I was with my friend today at such and such place. Maybe I'm sure as it's a journaling app, it will be able to take notes. You will be able to attach images and videos, I assume, in addition to location data. And maybe there will be integration with music. I think it'll be interesting to imagine this sort of like journaling app where you can really take advantage of all the integrations that Apple can do. So like, I was with friends, and it knows what you mean with friends because you can look them up in the find friends thing. And maybe you can customize a page for a day and put a song in it. And so like when you open a page for next Monday, you will there's a little Apple Music button there that plays a song. All these different things that only Apple can do. Maybe it connects to your reminders, right? So I'd be really keen to see what Apple's take on it. I would assume they would absolutely advertise the privacy angle of their journaling app, what they can do in terms of design. Is it just going to be something that looks like notes? Is it going to be something that looks like freeform? I think in recent years, we've seen like a lot of Apple apps, they kind of have that samey look. I mean, that's broadly speaking, that's kind of true of the whole Swift UI generation of apps. They got that Swift UI look to them. But maybe here they can try something a bit different. If it's a journaling app, maybe it can have a little, a few fun visual traits. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so my pick is Apple introduces a brand new journaling app, and I'm really curious to see what they do with this.
On the design, I was listening to App Stories, and you guys did your Reality OS, XROS kind of predictions, and I was hit by the idea that like I think we're about to re-enter the age of skeuomorphism. Like I think skeuomorphic design is going to come back in a significant way because of the headset, but I think it may be constrained just to the headset, right? That like you're going to actually be able to create things that look real because you want them to look real. So like we're not going to, our apps on the headset are not just going to be big blank white canvases. They're going to look like things. They're going to look like rooms. They're going to look like fields or whatever it's going to be.
Well, that's the hope, at least.
Right? That's what you'd hope. But it did, thinking of that, maybe, with just what you were saying there, I could imagine them maybe being a little more playful with a journaling app. So it doesn't just look like the Notes app and reminders. Like, I think it might be nice to give it maybe a little bit more color, at least, that maybe the background isn't white. Maybe the background is like more of a kind of like, yellow paper kind of color or something like that. To maybe give it just a little bit more of a visual flair. That would be my hope anyway. I'm
also really, I'm intrigued by this idea of a journaling app because I want to see how much that app sort of eats into the usage of Apple Notes. Just because I know that so many people are using Apple Notes as their own journaling app. It's right there on your phone. You make a folder. Maybe you lock that folder with Touch ID or Face ID, and you got your own system for private notes. And of course, it's not ideal for that. Just like Apple Notes is not ideal for checklists, and yet so many people use Apple Notes as a basic to-do system. And so many use it as a journaling sort of diary type of experience. And I've seen it, like even in my family, I see Apple Notes being used like this. And so to have a native component for it, to have a native sort of alternative for it, I want to see what happens
Yeah.
because if you got your own journal right there made by Apple, why not use that instead of notes?
All right, should we move on to mine? This might be one of these ones, and I'm saying this up front, where we may need to have a bit of discussion about how we score this. Like, I just want to know I'm saying that before I say it, and then we can talk about it. My pick is that a widget-like interface comes to the Apple Watch.
Okay, what does that
So
mean?
what I'm saying is the idea that widgets will become the kind of new way that apps look, right? Or that like glances return, and it's iOS style widgets. So this is where we need to talk about this. Like, how are we gonna grade this pick? Or like, is there something that you would like me to write as a clarifier? Would you like me to reword this pick in some way? What do you think?
I feel like I just need to get some clarification on the widget-like aspect.
Well, I
like
imagine,
what is widget-like and what isn't.
does it look like a widget on the iPhone? Like, that's what I'm saying.
But
That, like,
what if they're
I'll
called?
tell you what. Hang on. I'm going to rewrite it so I can help you out here so we can make it undeniable. Watch OS.
Don't make this mistake. The next
What I'm trying to here's what I'm trying to write now, but I might need your help with it. Of like that. Hold on. Developers can bring their iOS widgets to watchOS. That's what I'm trying to say.
Interesting. Are you sure you want to go with this?
No, but I feel like I wasn't going to be able to get the two of you to score the previous one.
Are you? So let me ask you this. Let me ask because I need to understand what you mean here.
Yeah.
Do you mean that you think watchOS will have widgets that have to look like iOS widgets, or do you just think that Apple is going to do widgets on watchOS?
Widgets on watchOS.
Okay, so they don't have to look like the iOS ones. Like, they can still
No.
be widgets, but look like... Does watchOS look like iOS to you?
No,
And why do widgets have to look like iOS ones?
they don't. But I just mean that, like, I think that there will be a lot of similarities between what they're going to do on watchOS to what they're already doing with
I'm
WidgetKit.
fine. I'm fine if you just want to say that watchOS 10 will get widgets because it doesn't have widgets right now.
You know what?
I
That's perfect. Thank you.
I'm good with that.
watchOS.
You don't need to say that
10
they need to
gets
look like
widgets.
iOS widgets.
Yeah, no,
Or-
that's what I was trying to say, but I was doing a really bad job. They obviously don't have widgets, so yeah, watchOS 10 gets widgets. That's my pick.
I guess the only risk for you is that they need to be called widgets.
Or glances. Don't bring that word back.
Because you could argue that a complication is like a little tiny widget, right? Whereas what we mean here is...
I've rewritten it again. watchOS 10 gets support for WidgetKit.
But that's incorrect because aren't complications already written with WidgetKit?
Yeah,
I think they
all
are.
right. watchOS 10 gets widgets.
Widgets.
That's what I'm
Just,
glad
and
with.
we know
watchOS
what
10
it means.
Gets widgets. Yeah, who knows? This one might be hard to score. We'll find out next week. But what my pick is, watchOS 10 gets widgets.
My round 2 pick is a bit of stagecraft. I'm saying the phrase "one more thing" will be used before the headset is announced. They used it with the Apple Watch. Remember Tim Cook's voice like broke a little bit? It was very sweet. I think this is, if you're going to use it, now's the time to use it.
I don't think they should.
Why not?
I just feel like that's done now.
No, they'll do it.
I'm not saying they they won't. I'm saying I don't think they should. Like, I think that phrase is gone away now, but I think that Tim Cook will not be able to resist it. I think he'll keep saying it until he has his big breakout product. So every time they introduce something new, one more thing will be used. Like, I'm on board with you. I just think that it's not necessary anymore. I guess this predicates that the headset will be last, right?
Which I think it has to be. And if you look at every keynote ever, the big quote unquote surprise thing is always last. So
Yeah, they're gonna be, and we have one more thing, and still 2 hours. To
Yeah,
go.
like we have one more thing. It's like 25 minutes into the WWDC keynote.
And you're like, great, we're almost done. 20 minutes.
well, like when they introduced the watch, it was alongside the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. And if you go back and watch that keynote, like Apple Pay is in there too, and all that is like 40 minutes. It's like, Oh, they're already done with the phone? Like, you know.
Oh my gosh, this is so. Zach says in the Discord, Tim used one more thing for the Apple Watch, the iPhone 10, and Apple Music.
Oh, Tim.
Really though? Those three things aren't the same.
Everything about the Apple Music keynote is garbage.
I don't know. Drake with the jacket was pretty cool.
The jacket was pretty sweet.
No, it was terrible. The jacket was fine, but we didn't need Drake on stage. We didn't need any of it. That's the worst. The keynote was the worst. It was so bad.
I got a good blog post out of Drake's jacket back in the day.
You always do.
As you do.
I'm not surprised.
So, Federico, do you want to recap round 2?
All right, round 2. We're going with me first. And I said, Apple introduces a brand new journaling app. Myke said, after much deliberation, WatchOS 10 gets widgets. And Stephen, you picked the phrase, one more thing, will be used before the headset is announced.
I just very quickly went to Google. So the WWDC 2015 keynote was 2 hours and 20 minutes long. One more thing was set at 1 minute and 39 seconds. There was so much. They spent so much time talking about Apple Music.
Wait, did you say 1 minute and 39 seconds?
1 hour and 39 minutes.
Like, jeez. Hey, good morning. We have one more thing.
I will agree. It was a
Good morning. Good morning.
We have one thing for you today. That's good.
Good morning. How's everybody feeling? We got one more thing for you today.
That's it. Stop asking. We have one thing. That's it. Leave us alone.
This episode of Connected is made possible by Indeed. What's a game where no one wins? That's the waiting game. And when it comes to hiring, you don't want to wait for great talent to find you. Find them first with Indeed. When you're hiring, you need Indeed. It is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. So instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, you can use Indeed's powerful hiring platform to do it all. Indeed streamlines hiring with powerful tools that find you matched candidates. With Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. Indeed's hiring platform is really great because it gets you one step closer to the hire by immediately matching you with quality candidates. Even better, Indeed is the only job site where you only pay for applications that meet your must-have requirements, making it an unbelievably powerful hiring platform, delivering 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest in 2019. Join more than the 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/connected. This offer is good for a limited time, so claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/connected. That's INDEED. Indeed.com/connected. Go there to support the show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Our thanks to Indeed for their support of the show and Relay FM.
It is time for the Risky Picks round. And I'm going first again, and I will tell you, I'm pretty sure this has to be the longest text for a Risky Pick that I've ever done. And I'm risking it all with this. The next version of iPadOS will introduce a brand new audio routing system with support for selecting different input sources, similar to macOS. It continues. The feature will finally allow podcasters like me to record local audio while also being on a FaceTime or Zoom call, assuming apps add support for it.
I can't believe this has finally found its way into the Rickies.
Well, he's not even done yet. There's some not graded stuff too.
Yeah, but that's the pick. We can talk about the not graded, but like just the pick itself, the long requested feature for us to be able to record and have a call at the same time has finally found its way into the Rickies.
Non-graded, I do believe that it's going to be, like if they do it, I think it's going to be like on macOS where if you plug in like for example, a USB device and it does not require special drivers, like a USB Pre 2, for example, it just shows up in the sound settings panel and you can just select it as an input or output device. And I think it's going to be like that. Obviously, it also means the sounds page of settings on the iPad will need to be redesigned, because right now it's basically nothing. Like, there's no audio management system at all on the iPad right now. All you get is Control Center, and you can expand the little audio tile, and you can choose where to play audio. Like, it's basically nothing compared to what you can do on macOS. And I just feel like the context of this pick is, obviously this is something I want, and this is something over the years I've spent a lot of money trying to make happen with the current limitations of iPadOS, and I never got quite what I wanted. And also the arrival of Logic and Final Cut. I think it's time for the iPad to get a much better, just in general, audio system, whether it's about where you want to play audio or the kind of microphone you want to use. I think it just looks kind of silly to have a platform with Logic and Final Cut and no sound page in settings that lets you select a microphone or another type of source, and also a platform that doesn't let you have concurrent audio streams on your computer. Like, it just feels kind of silly to have a computer that you pay $2,000 for and it runs Logic and Final Cut, and still you cannot listen to music or be on a call at the same time or watch two videos at the same time. It just looks kind of ridiculous. So yeah, once again, the text of the pick, because I realize there's people inserting this live into Rickies related websites. The next version of iPadOS will introduce a brand new audio routing system with support for selecting different input sources similar to macOS. This feature will finally allow podcasters like me to record local audio while also being on a FaceTime or Zoom call, parentheses, assuming apps add support for it.
If you're ever going to pick it, it's now, right? Like, I feel like we've finally had something happen which would suggest that maybe Apple would want to add this, where like previously it was purely just like we wanted it.
Yeah.
But now professional audio and video creation tools could be helpful to add these features, but
Thank
I hope you're right.
I hope so too. All right, you're up next, Myke.
Apple introduces a Copilot-like feature for Xcode powered by artificial intelligence or machine learning.
God, this is props to you for really going risky here.
So I put my passion into this one. So this is some not graded information. So I'm assuming they will create something like GitHub Copilot, where effectively as you're writing code, there will be machine learning going on, which will be able to suggest to you ways to improve your code or solve some common problems. I assume it would probably live in a sidebar and would be a beta feature. Beta feature? How do we call that in America?
Beta with a D.
I lost myself there. It's more the E sound that I'm looking for than the B sound. I know that the B sound's there.
Joe, it ain't ready yet. Put it in the beta.
I guess so. I'm sticking with AI or ML because I don't think we know yet where Apple's gonna fall on this, and I'm hoping that the two of you will accept that as they'll either call it AI or machine learning, because technically, you know, all of the stuff we call AI is actually machine learning right now. Like, there isn't an artificial intelligence, right? Like, it is just machine learning, but we will call them AI now, so it's just we call it AI. But yeah, that's what I think. That I think they'll do this eventually. Whether it's now or not, I don't know. I think if they're going to do it anywhere, maybe this would be the first place they would do something like this. And if they have something close, it would be kind of cool to have something in WWDC that is jumping on this AI train, right? So like Apple is not completely left behind by all the.
But let me ask you, based on what data? Like, what did they train? What did they train this Copilot like thing against? Because GitHub, I mean, Microsoft, and they have all of their like open source GitHub repos to train the model against. What do you?
I mean, Apple has their entire code base.
Right. So you think it's based on Apple's own code?
I have no idea. I mean, but it could be like,
Well,
what did
but
they
if you
train
were
their...
to speculate, like,
Oh, I would assume it would be something I don't know about, in the sense of like, so all of their photos machine learning. Apple just bought up the rights to like 1 billion photos, right? So it could just be something like that. Like there is some database out there. Like they could have worked with GitHub. I don't know, right? Like where they're just like, we'll just give you a bunch of money. Can you just give us a bunch of data? I imagine it would be something like that. Like there's just like a bunch of stuff out there, and they've just trained it against a data set. They could have used some of their own data. I don't know. And it could also be like, oh, it's a beta feature because if you opt into this, we're also going to do differential privacy on your code and use that. Like, you know, like if you opt into this, you're maybe giving the ability for the system to train itself up. I don't know. That's a good question though, but that's just kind of one of those things which I feel like money and desire would solve that.
oh, they can probably solve it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can just can you buy code like you can buy pasta? Like you probably
but
can.
maybe you don't need to buy it. Like I don't know what the terms are for open source software. Like I don't know, right? Like I think there are a lot of cloudy questions about what can be used.
I just feel like it'd be kind of weird if Apple went out and said, "Yeah, we scraped a bunch of open source projects to train our model." And it's like, whereas I could imagine Apple saying, and we trained our model against our purest, finest code from our own apps.
Yeah, that's pure and fine all the time.
Hopefully it's not based on the shortcuts code, but
but that could be it though, right? That like they say like, oh, we started this with our own apps, and over time we're gonna build it out with
your
whatever,
help.
right? Or like we're announcing today a partnership with whoever, and you know, like that. I don't think it would be very good to start with because these things need to get off the ground somehow. But I could just, if I thought they were going to do anything kind of new in this space, this feels like a place to start.
Yeah, but also, as people in the Discord are pointed out, training against Apple's internal code, that would probably be a nightmare for Apple. Like you,
well, but it's not like they're just going to let this feature free. Like they can remove.
could be trained against all the code snippets that they show off in public at WWDC, like in sessions.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There is a way to keep it clean, right? Like there is a way. Like there is shipping source code all over the place that you can go through. Like they have a way to make sure that they are
I agree.
able to just, you know, not have any internal code names sneak out, even though that happens all the time.
So that's 2 risky picks. There's only 1 left to go.
The best one, really. The announced price of the headset will be less than $2,500.
So this is risky in 2 ways.
Just before you get to that, this might be the shortest risky pick of all time. But carry on.
This is risky, I think, Stephen, in a couple of ways. First, everybody is saying that this is going to cost more than $3,000. And second, this is not shipping anytime soon. And neither Myke nor I think there's any reason for Apple to announce any sort of detail about pricing. Whereas you think they will announce the price for the headset and it's going to cost less than what everybody's projecting. Can you explain your position here?
I get the sense that over $3,000 is just so much money. I'm reminded of the iPad. Everyone thought it was going to cost at least $1,000. Apple came out at $499.
What should we price it at? Well, if you listen to the pundits, we're going to price it under $1,000, which is code for $999. When we set out to develop the iPad, we not only had very ambitious technical goals and user interface goals, but we had a very aggressive price goal because we want to put this in the hands of lots of people. And just like we were able to meet or exceed our technical goals, we have met our cost goals. And I am thrilled to announce to you that the iPad pricing, starts not at $999, but at just $499.
There has been no reporting of the price being less than $3,000. And so maybe Apple's happy to have that expectation set really high, and then they can come and undercut it so it looks less expensive. Less than $2,500, still very expensive potentially, but a little bit better than $3,000. I can't help but think if they don't share the price, I totally get it. But I feel like if it's substantially less than the rumors, why not have that out now? And it's a risky pick, right? Like, I understand there's risk here, but there's also a sweet taste of glory just on my lips with it.
The only argument I could probably use in favor of your pick is if you announce the pricing now, and it's going to be expensive, but you give people several months to save money for this purchase. Whereas if you announce it in November and you say, well, it ships in 2 weeks and it's going to cost $2,500, everybody will be like, oh, no, I really want to get this, but I don't have the money saved for it. I don't know. I go back and forth on this because on the one hand, why talk about money now when it's just a developer event and it's like, is it going to be final hardware? We don't even know. On the other hand, like, yeah, announce the pricing now, let the people save money for it, months in advance, and sort of become familiar with the idea that this is going to be a premium product, 5 months from now or whatever.
And Zach points out in the Discord, he beat me to it, they did announce a starting price for the watch in 2014. And so much of this feels like an echo of the Apple Watch. I think there's room for it.
I don't know. So my feeling on this is twofold. One, the iPad one is something that people bring up a lot, but 1,000 to 500, that was like, oh, that's a great price. 2,500 instead of 3,000, it's still a lot of money. It's not like everyone's like, would be like, oh, wow, only 2,500.
Yeah. Well, I leave the door open to less than 2,500.
I know, but like I don't think that there's going to be a price that they could go to where people are going to be like shocked like they were with the iPad, right? It's not like this thing at $2,000 is a steal, right? Whatever it costs, it's going to be seen as expensive, which is why I would think that because of that, do they want all the articles to be written about the price when it's announced? Whatever the price is for this thing, it will be very expensive.
Yes.
And every article will focus around the price, and I'm not sure if that's what they want to do for its first outing.
I think it's better to get that out of the way now than when consumers can actually order it. So say that it's 3,000 or 2,500. I agree with you, not a big, huge difference like the iPad. Isn't it better to get people used to that idea months before they can buy it? Instead of being super amped for it, say they bring it out in September or October and say, hey, these are the final features. This is the price. You can order it next Friday. And then you have like the sales cycle being much closer to the shock of the price for people who don't pay attention to the rumors. And I think if you do the blow now, like rip the Band-Aid off now, people will have adjusted to it by the time it's available for them to order.
That's very fair. However, when is this thing shipping? What will the economic landscape of the world be like then? What will currency exchanges be like?
Strong headwinds, baby.
There could be very, very strong headwinds on the headset.
Headset wins.
If you're right on this one, I'll be thrilled because I would love to know now. Plus, I would love it to be less than $2,500.
Yeah,
I would be surprised because I hadn't thought of what Federico just said. Like, it might not be shipping hardware. Like, they might not show what it looks like. It might just be like, these are the capabilities of it. This is the operating system. We're going to show you the hardware later on.
I doubt that too.
I don't know. I doubt that, but I don't know, right?
I'm gonna be so bummed if they do that. Like, I hope it's.
I don't think they're gonna do that, but I hadn't considered that until you just said it. Yeah, this one it's such a simple pick, but it's very risky.
I think that's one reason I love it. It's so, like you said, so short, so straightforward, but I feel like the passion per word is very high. It's concentrated.
The PPW, high PPW score.
Hi, PPW. Myke, do you want to recap the risky picks?
I do. Federico's pick is, for the third and final time, the next version of iPadOS will introduce a brand new audio routing system with support for selecting different input sources similar to macOS. This feature will finally allow podcasters like me to record local audio while also being on a FaceTime or Zoom call, assuming apps add support for it. I picked Apple introduces a Copilot-like feature for Xcode powered by artificial intelligence or machine learning. Stephen picked the announced price of the headset will be less than $2,500.
This episode of Connected is also made possible by Notion. Project management tools are supposed to help you move faster and stay organized. But if you're jumping between 50 browser tabs just to do your job, then maybe you haven't found the right tool yet. And nothing will slow you down like using the wrong tools to get things done. And that's where Notion comes in. Notion has just launched Notion Projects, which includes new powerful ways to manage projects, and you can leverage the power of their built-in AI features. Notion Projects combines project management with your docs, your knowledge base, and AI. So you can stop jumping between tools and stop paying too much for them as well. In just one workspace, you can do everything you need to get your projects over the finish line, from brainstorming to drafting launch plans to organizing sprints and keeping everyone on deadline. And of course, Notion is super customizable. Everyone has a preference for how they like to view their projects, so you can view everything in whatever way works best for you, whether that's a timeline, a table, or Kanban board. There's also powerful filtering and automation features so you can work exactly the way you want. On top of that, Notion AI helps you automate all that tedious overhead, like summarizing meeting notes or finding next steps, and freeing you up to do the deep work. I've been playing a lot with Notion AI over the last couple of weeks, and it is amazing. You can have it take anything from like a blank page, like, hey, write an email or blog post on this topic. You can take a bunch of meeting notes and have it not only summarize those meeting notes, but they give you a bulleted list of next steps and things to do out of them. It really is incredible. If your job is text and information heavy, Notion AI can really help you out. Do your most efficient work with Notion projects. You can try it free today at notion.com/connected. That's Notion, notion.com/connected. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show. So go now to notion.com/connected. Our thanks to Notion for the support of the show and Relay FM. It is time for the Flexies. I will start with the preamble. The Flexies is a game held after each edition of the Rickies. It consists of a series of additional picks in relation to the upcoming Apple event or year. Scoring is completed separately from the main game, but like the Rickies, the order of picks is set by the results of the previous game, and ties will be broken by using dice by pCalc. Please lie down as the rules are read. Hosts must make a minimum of 5 Flexi picks. Each correct pick is awarded with 1 point. Wrong picks do not remove any points, and no partial points may be awarded. The winner is determined by comparing the percentage of correct Flexis made by each host. The winner can choose their chosen title as long as they are the winner. Federico shall be named Prince Flexi and is known as King Flexi when having won both the keynote and annual games. Myke has chosen Duke of Flexington and uses the name Archduke Flexington when applicable. I am the Attorney General Flexi and use the title Secretary of Deflex when necessary. Loser of the Flexis must compensate the winner of the Flexis by donating to a charity of the winner's choice. The amount of the donation is $25 per wrong Flexi made by the loser. The money must be donated on air. Myke is the current winner of the Keynote Flexis and the winner of the annual Flexis. You may return to your seats.
Please announce the Archduke Flexington.
The Archduke of Flexington!
Oh, I feel like we need a trumpets.
The Archduke of Flexington!
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello. 'Tis I, Archduke Flexington, to tell you my 5
Just 5.
Flexis.
Just 5.
Yes, because I was wondering if I should add more and then forgot to do that during the episode. So I have the prerequisite 5 Flexi Picks.
Okay.
The iPad OS cursor appears to have been repurposed for using iPad apps in VR.
How? What do you
What
mean?
does that mean?
So you know how the iPad OS cursor looks, a little circle?
Okay.
That's going to track your finger as you move
Okay.
around iPad apps. 2, no Mac Pro teaser video.
Well, does it mean if they don't do a teaser but they do a trailer, does that still count?
No, I'm saying there's no teaser video. There's no teaser video.
Let me ask this. If our boy John Turnus gets on stage and says, hey,
Here's the Mac
the
Pro.
Mac Pro's coming later this year, here's what it is, but there's no teaser video, you get this right.
Yeah, I'm saying there's no teaser video like they've done for the 2 previous Mac Pros and the
It just
iMac
keeps
Pro.
repeating this line. It doesn't want to.
There's no video. So, Federico, for the last 2 Mac Pros and the iMac Pros, they did this whole video showing it up.
With like cool music.
Three, we do not know what the price of the headset will be.
Interesting. Okay.
4, the headset portion of the keynote lasts over an hour. 5, heartbreak, tvOS is not covered in the keynote.
Well, you know it's gonna happen.
I love tvOS, right? Obviously, everyone knows this about me. If they spend any time talking about tvOS in this keynote, that time has been wasted. Like, I cannot imagine anything worthwhile of putting in the WWDC keynote. If they do, it better be like, oh, Netflix is in the TV app now. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of level it's got to be at. Otherwise, it ain't worth it.
Right.
There will be something. They'll put things in tvOS. I have no doubt. But it won't be covered in the keynote, is my pick. That's my
Okay.
5 flexes.
I have 7 flexes. Well, I have 7 because I saw that Stephen had 7, so I felt like I needed to match Stephen. Number 1, the Messages app gets an easier way to send photos that does not require tapping an iMessage app anymore.
Oh my God, please. I still always open the camera.
Yeah, it's awful.
Right? This is so annoying. And there used to be like a standalone images, like photos button, right? There used to be like a thing that would just open the photo picker. And that's what I want to come back. Like, don't let me, and that iMessage app, sometimes it gets stuck and it doesn't attach your images to a message and you need to do it again. It's so bad. Number 2, Stage Manager for iPad gets support for clamshell mode with external displays. It's so distracting that you want to use your iPad on an external display and you still see the iPad's display right there. Like, come on. Number 3, the next version of macOS is called Skyline.
Man, you will not stop, will you, with this Skyline talk?
Until they give me macOS Skyline, I will not stop. But thankfully, they're giving it to me this year, so I'm happy. Number 4.
Oh, wow. That's
Number 4, we see at least one new dynamic island feature, right? I mean, just one, even one. Obviously, the text of my pick number 5 is unfinished or it got deleted.
I was like, what does this mean?
Somebody deleted it because right now it just right now in our document it just says the wallet app.
I need some clarification.
Yeah. I feel like you're gonna have to clarify that one. Hang on, I'm digging into the.
Oh, maybe I just maybe I got distracted.
Okay, Federico, I'm going through the history, and it has always just said the wallet app.
The wallet, the wallet app gets a new design. That was my pick.
Ah,
That was my
there we
pick.
go.
The wallet app gets a new.
The only change is that you put a period at the end. That's all that happened. It was always just the wallet app, and then eventually you just put a period
My
at
wish
the
is
end.
the wallet app. Just whatever. Now the wallet app gets a new design. Please, that's the pick.
You know what I mostly want from the wallet app? Is that I don't have to press 2 buttons to get the information from the back of the wallet pass. Like, that should just be there on the main screen.
That, and also the whole design. It's just so slow to use. Like, I don't understand how cards get organized. I want to organize them manually. I want to make folders. Like, it doesn't need to look like my real wallet, because guess what? I hate my wallet, and a phone should be easier to use than a physical wallet. Like, I don't get it. Just, anything works except what it is right now. Number 6, some new shortcuts features get covered in the State of the Union. And number 7.
Which one of the 3 of us is going to have to watch the State of the Union?
I will. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You take one for the team.
Number 7, the next version of iOS brings at least, again, one new AirPods related feature. At least one new AirPods thing. I don't know what, which is why I'm saying at least one.
So I also have 7. Feel like we needed to up the ante a little bit this time. My first one is that the keynote video runs over 2 hours. There's no way it doesn't.
Yeah.
This next one I went back and forth a lot. The 15-inch MacBook Air will be powered by an M3.
So they're going to introduce the M3, you think?
I think so.
With the MacBook Air.
They introduced the M2 with the MacBook Air. They introduced the M1 with the MacBook Air. Number 3, Apple reframes an existing feature as being powered by, quote, AI.
Well, but they're going to do it.
Makes me sad.
They kind of have to do it.
Yeah, but I don't want that. I want them to stay true. They have to do it. But it will make me sad.
Kevin Lynch has a major role in introducing the headset.
Why?
Because he took it over and he did the Apple Watch.
Did he take it over?
Yes, at some point.
Interesting. You remember I saw this today and I was intrigued because I didn't remember that happening. And then, I'm not saying this is the be all and end all, but do you remember a few weeks ago, Mark Gurman wrote an article where he referenced every single person who was significant in... Yeah, Kevin Lynch is not in that article.
I seem to have mixed this up with the car. With the car.
Oh, with the car? Yeah. I don't remember Kevin Lynch ever being put on that product.
Well...
So, I'm excited to see how much of an impact he has.
I mean, I could remove it.
I'm really excited to see.
Here's
what
a
goes on
guy
there?
that
That'd
did not oversee this project.
He's gonna have a major impact on the show.
And it works and he's on.
You know what?
Like,
I think I only have 6
here's
flexies.
Kevin.
So yeah,
What happened there? Oh, another editing error has occurred in our document, and there's now a completely
Yeah,
missing.
it said Tim Cook the whole time.
Aren't I a good friend?
what if your pick just said Kevin Lynch?
Oh no.
Just what about Kevin Lynch has a role?
Kevin Lynch appears.
A wild Kevin Lynch appeared. You could, if you care about Kevin Lynch that much, he might still be doing the WatchOS part. I know they gave that to Jeff too, didn't they? Jeff Williams just
Okay, Jeff. Yeah.
gobble gobble gobble, taking all the roles. That's Jeff Williams. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep it?
I kind of want to remove it.
No. Keep Kevin.
Steven, this is
Come
for
on,
charity.
do it for the
Come on.
kids.
Has a major role.
Oh, come
Oh.
on, the CEO.
Can't you pick anybody else?
Come on.
Jeff Williams.
Jeff Williams is better than Tim Cook.
Jeff Williams has a major role in introducing the headset.
There you go.
Okay.
If Kevin Lynch introduces the headset, you're going to be so mad.
iPad OS 17 gains lock screen customization.
Should, yeah.
Yep, it's a year behind. Number 6, we see a Mac Pro preview.
Okay, so with these last two, I see you're going against both of us. Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Number 7, the next version of Mac OS is not called Skyline.
Oh, yeah, right. Because it should be named after another boring California thing that nobody knows instead of a cool word that resonates worldwide like Skyline. Right. They're just going to call it what? macOS Santa Clara? What are they going to call it? Like macOS.
That would be too well known.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's even too well known. macOS, name of a hill somewhere, and it's like a big deal. You know how for California people, when they hear thunder, that's like, oh, thunder. It's like, yeah, guys, nature exists. And it's like,
Okay. I don't know where he's going now. We've lost him. We've lost Federico. He's gone now.
and it's like to anybody in Europe, that's like a totally normal thing. But they're like, oh, guys, we have a mountain. Let's name the operating system after a mountain. And it's like, yeah, that's nice. That's cute. You got a mountain.
I'm going to go with macOS Interstate 280. I think that's what they're going to call it.
It was on the Apple Maps logo the whole time.
Yeah. It's been right there. It's been looking at us the whole time.
Well, that brings us to the end of the Flexies. We'll be grading these in person together next week at WWDC.
Oh, by the way, there was a reason that I didn't have enough time to think of 2 Flexies.
No.
Welcome back to the Quizzies,
How?
where I, Myke Hurley, quiz my connected co-hosts randomly and by surprise on a variety of varying subjects.
It's the end of the show.
For 2023, we currently stand at the scoring of Stephen with 1,540 points and Federico with 1,620 points. This is after our members special where the points changed. You can go to getconnectedpro.co is where you can go to sign up and hear our member special where we did a full Passionate Ones episode. So I have just 2 questions for the quizzes this time. This came to me in a moment of inspiration.
In a moment of inspiration.
For each of these, there are 150 points available. Now, you may think, Myke, you're inflating the scores again because I've been trying to keep it to 10s. But there's a very good reason for this because we're going to see how much you believe in yourselves and if you're willing to put points on the line. I have 2 questions. Question number 1 is who will win the Rickies? Question number 2 is who will win the Flexies? I want each of you to answer who you think is going to win both the Rickies and the Flexies. If you're right, you will gain 150 points. You gain no points if it was you that was right. It's only who you pick. You can pick yourself and you will get those points. But there are 150 points on the line.
Oh my God, we're playing against ourselves?
You could be playing against yourself. If you believe in yourself that much, you can say yourself, and you will get the points if you win. But if you think somebody else has a better chance of winning, you may as well say it because you'll get 150 points in the quizzes. Stephen, who do you think will win the Rickies?
Me.
Oh, Stephen's betting on himself. Okay. Federico, who do you think will win the Rickies?
I will win the Rickies.
Wow, you too. All right. Stephen, who's going to win the Flexies?
Me.
Look, you seriously wanted us to play a game about self-confidence?
Yeah, Federico, who do you think's going to win the Flexies?
I will win the Flexies.
I mean, you both have more than me. Like, I was the easy pick. All right, fair enough. There are 150 points on the line. The 2 of them only believe in themselves. We'll find out what happens next time. That was the Quizzies. Thank you for listening.
If you want to find links to the couple stories we spoke about and the scorecards for this this wonderful event, check out the links in the show notes at relay.fm/connected/452. There you can become a member and get longer ad-free versions of the show each and every week. It's just $5 a month. You can find us all online. Federico is the editor-in-chief of MacStories.net, where they are promising wall-to-wall coverage of WWDC. I am super excited that the Mac Stories team is going to be on the ground together, just like we are. It's going to be a whole group hug situation at WWDC.
Family reunion.
That's right. You can find Federico on Mastodon as Vitici at MacStories.net. You can find Myke on a bunch of other shows here on Relay FM. Myke, what are y'all doing for Upgrade next week? Do you know yet?
We're going to be recording at Apple Park, kind of, I think, probably during the State of the Union. Right now, our time is 1:45 p.m., subject to change. We will be recording that live. You'll be able to listen to that at relay.fm/live. And I think There may also be an overflow stream or something, depending on if the stream goes down. We're not sure about that yet, but we'll be posting about it on Mastodon and in the Discord. So yeah, that's going to be on Monday, but that will be available on Monday as always.
You can find me on Mac Power Users here on Relay FM, and I write over at 512pixels.net. And Myke and I also are both on Mastodon. He is iMyke at myke.social, and I am ISMH at eworld.social. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Clean My Mac X, Indeed, and Notion. And until next time, when we're together, boys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.